Welcome to the reflection for Grace Church today. It is May the 8th and it is the feast day of Mother Julian of Norwich. If you've never heard of her, she lived in the 14th century. She was a famous English mystic and she was a spiritual counselor. She lived as an anchorite attached to the Church of St. Julian in Norwich. And she had two windows. Now, one window looked into the church so that she could participate in the services and receive the sacraments. The other window looked out onto the world so that she was able to give counsel and advice to the people who turned up at her window. They also brought her food, and we know that she didn't live with anyone other than her cat. Her cat is often in icons and pictures, drawings of Julian, and ostensibly her cat was to keep the mice at bay, but probably it was for company as well. When I was growing up, the kind of Christianity that I grew up in was very clear about the fact that God was a male. There was no argument about this. God was simply a male. And I have to be honest that for the longest time, I didn't really question it until I got into my late teens, and it started to rub with me a little that the idea of being a woman or feminine was completely excluded from the Godhead. And so when I studied theology, when I became an Anglican, when I went to university to study theology, it was a real revelation to me to start to read people like Julian of Norwich, who were very clear that God is not male or female, but actually that both male and female are contained within the Godhead, and that God is equally our Father as well as our Mother. It was very rare. I never heard anybody refer to God as Mother when I was growing up in different churches. So I'd like to share with you, as Mother's Day is coming up and as we celebrate mothers and motherhood and women in general, some words from Julian, who makes it clear that to be divine is to be both male and female. And so she writes this: just as God is our Father, so God is also our Mother. He has showed me this truth in all things, but especially in those sweet words when he says, "It is I." As if to say, I am the power and goodness of the Father. I am the wisdom of the Mother. I am the light and grace which is blessed love. I am the Trinity. I am the unity. I am the supreme goodness of all things. I am the one who makes you love. I am the one who makes you desire. I am the never-ending fulfillment of all true desires. It is thus logical that God, being our Father, be also our Mother. Our Father desires, our Mother operates, and our good Lord, the Holy Ghost, confirms. We are well advised thus to love our God, through whom we have our being. Now, I guess there are many other things that we could say about gender and inclusivity within the Godhead, but I would like to think that within the writings of Julian of Norwich, there is that great fullness and that capacity to embrace everyone within the love of God. She was so filled through her visions with this complete understanding of God's great compassion that everyone was included. And so we give thanks today for Mother Julian of Norwich, who told us that God is not just a man, but actually God is not even just a woman, but within the Godhead there is both male and female. And for that we give thanks today.